Hi everyone, this is Brandon from Thriving Life Self-Help, and today's topic is going to be failure leads to success. Now let me paint you a picture, and you can follow along. Now, imagine you're a child playing with building blocks. You're attempting to build a structure. Now you don't realize you put a block off center from the column that you just built with blocks, and the blocks tip over as they lose balance. Now all the blocks fall down. Even though the building blocks came crashing down, it didn't stop you from rebuilding again. Now this goes for the same in life. Even though it's discouraging, it's another opportunity to rebuild an even better structure. But in life, it's building for a better tomorrow. And we have an opportunity to make changes and to try again. But it's also an opportunity to change your circumstances and try something a little different next time to improve your outcome. But success doesn't come overnight. Success requires determination, persistence, and that's right, failure. But it's what we do with that failure is what leads you to success. Failure is another opportunity to learn and grow. And guess what? It's an opportunity to succeed. And perhaps you'll succeed in other ways that you didn't even think of. Like in the moment, like potentially a better outcome. Well, here are some things to consider the next time you see failure and how you act upon it. Number one, if you learned a lesson and you did your best, then you have succeeded. We normally measure failure and success based on a given outcome, but not based on the effort we put into trying to accomplish. But failure is what accelerates us to success. It opens up a path for us to do better. So if you change the way you think about failure and turn it into something positive, it can really be a learning experience. But it's all in how you look at it. The more you experience failure, the faster you'll succeed. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Number two, fail as much as you can. As a prime example of this, I was trying out a friend's paddleboard as they were out at the lake. They were nice enough to let me give it a go. Also, if you're not familiar with what a paddleboard is, it's an inflatable board, and you inflate it by air, and you can either sit or stand up on it, and you paddle along in the water. Well, when I got up on this paddleboard, I almost instantly fell off and right back in the water. But I really wanted to enjoy this thing, and I wanted to learn. But I thought, well, what am I doing wrong? Well, my continuous failure made me feel defeated in the moment. But my determination said otherwise, and I pushed on. This whole time, people were watching me fall back in the water, even though these people were probably laughing with me, which I'm quite sure they were. I didn't care. I was laughing at my own failure. Even though I was falling back in the water, and it was so refreshing, I was getting pretty tired of it. But I had to find my center of gravity to get back on the board and find exactly where to stand on it. But after probably a good 15 times of me falling off of this paddleboard, I was able to stand right up on it. But I could feel it in the corner of my body. But yet I could finally stand up, and I wasn't falling back in the water as much. But I was addicted. So I ended up buying my own paddleboard because I wanted more of this experience. So in this example, if you have the determination and persistence to keep working on your goals, you can accomplish what you've set out to do if you just keep on trying. Number 3, Your future doesn't equal your past. Your past failures shouldn't completely shape your present or your future. But if you think with this mindset, you're setting yourself up for a letdown. I mean, one of the greats, Tony Robbins, what a great teacher, he once said, the only thing that keeps us from getting what we want is the story we keep telling ourselves about why we can't have it. We all have a story and a new fresh sheet of paper ready to start again. But we need to base our lives on our new truth, not our past truths decades ago. Sometimes things change, times change, and so do we. And even though we often fight change, it's sometimes best to give change a chance and embrace it. Number 4, pain is our greatest teacher. The emotion of pain, or the sadness found in our failure of our past relationships or our work, can also be our greatest teacher to drive change within ourselves. Like grieving, we all need to process things in our own ways to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Now, the emotion of pain can make us stronger and even provide us with the strength to start again. There is a purpose in pain. It can help align us with who we really are and what we need in life. But even though we don't realize it in the moment, the pain feels like such a setback. But it can be what catapults us into something great. More self-awareness, an opportunity for happiness, and an opportunity to learn from the experience. So if you're experiencing a struggle right now, keep going. Process it and feel it for what it is. Listen to yourself and truly understand what the situation is teaching you and the path that it's leading you to. It's a long journey, but the ultimate lesson is to learn. Another great example of this is the failure from Apple with Steve Jobs. Now, Steve Jobs, he started Apple from the ground up in his parents' garage when he was 20 with Steve Wozniak. They just had released the first Apple computer, and he turned 30 years old. And then he was fired from Apple due to differences that were seen with the board of directors. Well, the board of directors decided that Steve Jobs should step down in his position. And at that point, he was out. Now, Steve Jobs decided to start over and started up a company called Next Computer. And later, Pixar. Now, Pixar had created the first computer animated film, Toy Story. We all know Toy Story. And that's the film that wowed the world. Now, Pixar went on to become the most successful animation studio in the world. Now, later, Apple bought Next, and he returned to Apple. Now, little did people know, the founder would return back to what he loved to do. Now, with the knowledge that he learned, he came back to make Apple even more great with the creation of the iPhone. Now, as with finding your passion, you need to find what you love that gives you fire, the drive to find something suited to yourself, that gives you the motivation to get up every day, to do what you do very best at what you do. It gives you the feeling that you're alive and to leave your mark, to make a difference in the world. But always keep looking for your purpose. You will instinctively know when you find it. Be good to one another. The struggle is real, but you can do something about it. My name is Brandon for Thriving Life Self-Help. Don't give up. Because there's 1 ounce of hope. Better your life and make it thrive. From all of us here at Thriving Life Self-Help, we'll see you next time.